Hello, y'all. It's your girl Mariah Sincere, and I am back with another bomb live. Um, for those of y'all who are new to my channel, I'm a self love coach who specializes in helping people radically transform their lives through one on one coaching. I've been able to do this myself. At the beginning of the year, I completely hated where I was at. I developed a plan, and in 6 months, I moved out the country to Colombia. I've overcome everything from childhood trauma to heartbreaks, to overcoming my fears. So, if you need some help with that in your life and you need help making your dreams come true, send me an email at thepassportsis@gmail.com. I also do travel. I can help you get into the travel industry if you would like and show you how to make money off of that, or I could book a trip for you. So, again, direct all of that to thepassportsis@gmail.com. I am going to be running a special on my coaching, a really good special. I promise you, I am not overcharging at all. So I will put that in my community tabs later on today for those of y'all who are interested in that. It looks like my service is not all that. Okay, as y'all are coming in, please hit the like button. And if you're new, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. I'm going to go ahead and light my candle to set the vibes. I apologize for coming in late, guys. I was having some issues with my technology. Sometimes on StreamYard, you will come in, and when you're trying to turn on like your sound and do a sound check, your headphones and stuff won't be working even though it's plugged in properly, and it only works if you go out and come back in. It's weird. It's some type of glitch. They need to fix it, but nonetheless, we're gonna keep it pushing. Everything's working out now. So guys, today we're gonna have a really interesting show. Like, I went down a rabbit hole yesterday listening to Miss Jaguar Wright, and she had a lot to say. Like, I didn't realize how much tea she spilled over the years. I had only seen clips, but I'm telling y'all, I watched like 10 interviews that she did yesterday. And I think now that this whole Diddy thing has came into fruition and he is on trial, people are listening to what she's saying more, because it turned out, at least in that situation, she was not telling any lies, right? And the more that this situation escalates and the more that we see, the more evidence that comes out, the more victims that come forward, we're like, okay, sis, all ears open. So she's made some allegations. Like, recently, she was just on Pierce Morgan saying that J and B are worse than P. Diddy. And I don't know what she meant by that. I don't know if she meant by, with the whole trafficking thing, or if she meant in terms of screwing people over in business. She's made allegations of B being a witch. Okay, so she said a lot of stuff. So we're going to get into that today. We're going to get into Ashton Kutcher, and it's so crazy because you would never put Ashton Kutcher and P. Diddy together, but apparently they have some type of relationship. He was at those parties. And then we're just going to do a couple of updates on some things. So y'all remember to like my video as y'all are coming in. Get in the chat. That helps me keep the flow of the conversation going. I love it when y'all interact. If you disagree, that's fine. Just disagree respectfully. We don't all have to agree on every single thing. Okay, so I welcome the dissent. All right, so we're going to get into it. First of all, let's give an update on Diddy. Now, Diddy had a court hearing today, and basically, I guess it was just to set the trial date. And his mom walked into the trial, and like reporters were yelling at her as she was walking into the courthouse. They were like, your son's a pedo, your son's a pedo. They were saying all kind of things. His kids were there, so of course people were hassling him about that. I really feel bad for the kids. The reason why I feel bad for his kids is because, first of all, that's just super embarrassing for your parent to be involved in something like that. I'm sure they knew, right? As much as people were saying were going on, and if you listen Lil Rob, and you believe anything Lil Rob was saying, he did a lot of stuff in front of his kids. Like at the very least, his kids knew he was narcissistic and controlling. Like he would get mad if women were looking at one of his sons more, come home from a party and just lock everybody out the house. Like nobody could get in for like hours or days. So at the very least, they know something is not right with him and that he's a selfish person. But at the same time, that's the hand that butters their bread. He's the reason why they have the cars, the clothes, and the lifestyle. Like he's made it to where he stunted all of their careers to the point where they have to depend on him for everything, and they have to put up with his behavior because he controls everything. So, of course, they want positive outcomes for their dad in this trial because he is their means of access to capital. And I don't know if they can get out of some of these contracts that they've signed with their father if he is in jail. I don't know if like that means they'll be free, but even then, that's kind of scary. When you've been dependent on somebody all of your life and they've had such a grip on you, yes, you think it'd be the best thing to have freedom. Like, honestly, that is the best thing to be free from that. But a lot of people who have been under that kind of mind control don't want to be free because the thought of having to have your own self agency is scary for them. Let me check the comments. Woman, if I'm bending down, I'm sorry. Y'all need to get another table for my laptop. Okay, so I'm going to go to Instagram and pull up some receipts. Give me 1 minute. Y'all, today I'm really going to keep it an hour. I always go over. I always say that and then I go over. Oh, we can talk about that too. Did y'all see like those robots that Tesla made? That's wild. Like they have real deal eye robots. Okay. Let's see what I say. Mhm. Again, if you're coming in now, hit the like button. Okay, I think this is where I saw it. Okay, so all these websites like Spiritual World and the Shade Room had videos up of Diddy's mom walking into the trial, and now they're not up anymore. But I am going to show y'all what I could find. Okay, so this says that Diddy's Smeg's trafficking trial will begin on May 5th, 2025. So he's basically going to go on, like, because he's been in jail for a minute now. So he's going to go, what? He'll probably have been in jail about 7 or 8 months by the time that he goes to trial. And he's tried to get bail several times, his lawyers, and then even offered like $50 million. It keeps getting denied. Now Diddy is suing the federal government, so they're definitely not letting him out on bail. So he's going to sit there that entire time until the trial comes, unless they can work something out. But honestly and truly, I think because he was caught trying to flip witnesses and harassing people, I don't think that they're going to let that man out. Like it'd have to be an act from God for the feds to let them out, because they don't want to, like, they don't want him to do anything to sabotage their case while he's out. So A lot of people are saying that that's not fair. He should be entitled to a quick and speedy trial. And honestly and truly, I'm kind of conflicted because I believe that we should do things constitutionally, right? Um, but at the same time, this man is a monster. Like, he is the demon. And I don't know what the feds know. They might really need that much time to make sure they get an airtight case against him. And I would like for him to go away so long that, like, I don't want him to ever be able to do this to anybody else. And I see so many people who are like, oh, y'all so quick to try to bring the black man down. And it's like, yes, I am, because this is, at the end of the day, this is happening to other people that looked like me. This was happening to people that looked like my cousins. This is happening to people that look like my aunties. Like, this was he was doing this to his own people. And I need y'all to understand that all skin folk ain't kinfolk. I don't understand why we have to defend people who are in our community causing and wreaking havoc. Like, what protection do they need? Like, honestly and truly, it's not that I value the lives of people in other communities less, right? But I'm going to hold the people that are within my own community more accountable, because that's who I'm going to be around most of the time. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Like, that is who I live in community with. That is who I share a culture with. So yes, I do know that other people are out here doing the same thing, of different races. Other celebrities of different races are doing this. And I hope they get what's coming to them. They should absolutely be behind bars too. But I don't see why two things can't be true at the same time. So yeah, that man needs to be able to get locked up and never ever see the light of day anymore. Um, 1 minute. So another thing I want to talk about is, before I get into 50 Cent, I want to get into DDG real quick. And I know we shouldn't be talking about this boy, because honestly and truly, he's dragging it. He's dragging it at this point. Halle Bailey has not said anything about their breakup. She has been very classy about it. But he is the main one talking. Like, he has been talking and talking and talking about this breakup and has not been quiet. And I know that part of that has to do with the fact that people are dragging him on the internet. But my thing is, like, okay, if you're tired of getting dragged, just be quiet. That's how the news cycle works. Like, if you don't give people anything to talk about, they will not, like, the conversation dies down, because there are other things going on in the world right now. There are other celebrities or pseudo celebrities. He's not the only one. So if he just shuts up, people will forget about him. The thing is, he doesn't want people to forget about him, because I mean, that's kind of the point of social media. You want people talking about you. But with that said, don't whine and complain now that people are talking about you, if that's what you wanted. Like, you wanted this clout. You wanted this clout. So DDG got into it with a TikToker and thought that he read her. But then she proceeded to eat all the way down. So we're going to look at this. Again, if you're coming in, hit the like button, hop into the comments. If you interact, that keeps it more interesting. I'm going to go ahead and share this. Now, this is on Instagram. I found this on the Shade Room. Okay.
DDG definitely trapped Halle with.
So this woman basically said DDG trapped Halle with a baby. This is what he's going to get upset about. This influencer's name is Frankie_AAB on TikTok. So let's see what she had to say.
That baby. And here's
a little TikTok creator fun. CPMs is not that high for y'all to be sitting on here talking for 2 minutes about me. You got two kids. I looked on your Instagram, I looked on your TikTok, everything. You got two kids with no baby daddy.
Okay, so he cared enough about what she said to go lurk on her page and try to find something to say. So it's like, on the one hand, you're trying to make it seem like this girl is broke and she ain't getting paid enough to talk about you. But in the other hand, you're making her like important enough to go research her so you can have something to say. Either she's important or she's not. Either she making money or she not.
But you worry about me. Don't make sense to me. Y'all need to stop, bro. I be seeing what y'all be saying. Y'all be thinking I don't be seeing, but I be seeing this like, bro. I'm a father. I'm in my child's life. Worry about your baby daddy. Why are you worried about me?
Okay, first of all, I have no doubt that DDG is going to help take care of his kid, like, and be around his kid. He might not do as much work as Hallie does, but he doesn't give deadbeat. Immature, yes. Deadbeat, no. With that said, they just broke up. Are y'all still living in a house together? Do you have your own apartment? Like, because if you're showing a kid and y'all don't, obviously, if you're still living with her, you're around your kid. But again, I don't think that he's going to be a deadbeat dad. He don't give them vibes.
I don't understand it. I never get it. But I love y'all to death.
DDG gives suburban type boy, like suburban boy who likes hip hop culture, rap culture, came from a good family. Those type of men do tend to be in their kids' life, even if they never wanted to be with the mom long term, or if they were with the mom for the wrong reasons, they will be in their kids' life. Does that mean they're great fathers or perfect fathers? No, but they're not absentee deadbeat fathers. There's a difference.
F. I love black women. Come on.
DDG definitely tried highly with that baby.
Okay, so
And
he's
here's
saying he loves black women. Sir, do you love black women or do you love sleeping with black women? Because there's a difference. Do you love black women or do you love having access to things that black women provide for you? There's a difference. Okay? People be talking about they love such and such until it comes time for them to actually make sacrifices, not be selfish, be considerate of another person, clap for them, not be jealous of them, but actually want them to succeed. Like, yeah, there's a difference. Okay, I understand why you love the sisters. Okay, but do you really love them? All right, let's continue.
baby. And here's
A little TikTok creator fun CPMs is not that high for y'all to be sitting on here talking for 2 minutes about me. You got two kids. I looked on your Instagram, I looked on your TikTok, everything. You got two kids with no baby daddy. But you
Which that's crazy to me because how she got two kids and no baby daddy. Everybody, if you have kids, you have a baby daddy. Now maybe he meant with no present or active baby daddy, but how can you tell that just by looking on social media? Unless she was making posts talking bad about her baby daddy. Well, that's another thing.
worry about me.
I need y'all to let me know when y'all see DDG on her page. Since we go into people's Instagram to see where they baby daddy at, let me know when y'all see DDG anywhere.
This is her.
So now that we got that out the way, you're nowhere on Hallie's page, right? So if anybody looked and didn't know who you were, who didn't know who Hallie was, the assumption would be like, where's her baby daddy, right?
baby. And here's
A little TikTok creator fun CPMs is not that high for y'all to be.
Because she got a kid, right? It's funny that you try to use me being a baby mama as an insult when you turned her into a baby mama your damn self. Why would I have my ex-husband on my page? And I understand.
Okay, that alone, she ate down. She was letting him know, sir, we were married. Okay, I'm a divorcee or divorcee, depending on how you say it. Tomatoes.
I know my kids look different. They're different complexions, but I promise you, one baby daddy, 2 kids, was married. Did you ever marry that girl? Was there a secret wedding I'm unaware of? I don't think so. Why would anybody have their ex-husband posted on their page? But that was cute, though. That was cute. I'm glad you did your little investigation and you came up with nothing.
Not your little investigation. Y'all tell me, ladies, like, if you have a baby daddy, y'all let me know in the comment section. Do your baby daddy, is he on your page? Because I don't have mine on my page. And I can call and ask my baby daddy for some money right now. If I be like, hey, send me $300 or $400 because Tati need the XYZ, he's gonna send the funds. We're not gonna have an argument. Like, we're not gonna be beefed out. I'm not gonna have to run to Facebook and make a post about how these ninjas don't take care of their kids. Like, that's never been my problem. But I'm definitely not posting him on my Instagram, my Facebook. You're not gonna see him here on YouTube. Like, we not doing that because we've been broke up since my daughter was like 6 months, and she's 8 now. So who does that? Who does that? And that's my problem. Hey, skinny boy, glad to see you here, brother. And that's kind of what I've been saying about DDG. He's mentally immature. Like, every time he tries to clap back at somebody, he does not know how to mentally spar because he doesn't have the maturity. And I'm not saying he shouldn't clap back. It's just like, it's the way he goes about it. It's the assumptions that he makes. It's the immaturity. I go back to him. Joe Budden spoke on him. He responded back to Joe Budden. He had a right to do that. But the insult was, you're old. When I'm like, bruh, is Joe Budden, you can drag him every which way from Sunday because he definitely doesn't have a good track record with women. And he's sitting over here talking about DDG fumbling Hallie. And we not going to forget how he did since Santana. And she's a really good person. Like, we ain't seen Joe Budden upgrade since Santana. Like, I'm not saying we ain't seen him out with other beautiful women, but as far as character, like, she's a real deal sweetheart, good person. So we ain't seen him upgrade since then. So it's kind of like pot calling the kettle black. We ain't forgot that he used to lay hands and feet on Tahiri. Come on. So there's so many other things that he could have brought up about Joe Budden. He could have brought up the fact that, Joe Budden has this drug problem. And I'm not saying that's the right thing to do. I'm saying there are other ways he could have clapped back. I'll be in and out, sis. I'm moderating another channel right now. Okay, yeah, no worries, no problem. Okay, so yeah, he's so immature. He's so immature. All right, so let's get into 50 Cent. Now, I hate to like bring him into it, but I gotta be fair and objective because, to be honest, I like 50 Cent. I like his messy self. Like, I like he's funny. Like, remember when he told Floyd Mayweather? I'm gonna pull it up. Remember when he told Floyd Mayweather that he would donate money to charity if he could read one page of a Harry Potter book? I'm gonna bring that up. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm gonna bring that up because it was funny. And it was the way he said that. Okay, hold on. Let me share it on the screen. Like, he's funny. I don't care what nobody says. 50 Cent is hilarious. Okay, here we go. Down the video.
Woke up, I looked at the computer. The computer said, Floyd said, fuck T.I., fuck Nelly, fuck 50. I'm like, what did he say fuck me for? Nelly fucked your first baby mama, Melissa, then took your fucking fiance. Say fuck that nigga. This is a special ASLELS challenge for you, Floyd. If you can read one full page of a Harry Potter book, nigga, I'll give $750,000 to whatever charitable organization you want to. Fuck the bucket of ice, man. Phone call from my man.
Bruh, it's the way he said Harry Potter book, ninja.
And Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy said if Floyd accepts the challenge, then he'll put it on the actual show. So you can read it on the show. We don't want to put pressure on you. We know you can't pronounce those words in that Harry Potter book, so we're going to let you read Cat in the Hat.
Not Cat in the Hat, y'all. He is hilarious. Something is wrong with that man, okay? And like, I love listening to his interviews and things like that for motivation, right? And he has done a lot here out in this game, but I mean, I think it's kind of a little bit naive and foolish to think that he got to the level of where he got to without some tomfoolery. And let's be clear, if we think about like hip hop and the culture for the last 20 years, you know, you got Diddy was on top, like over all of them, right? And then you had Jay. And the reason why he was able to stay on top so long is because he had the whole power couple thing going with B2, right? And then 50 Cent. I mean, they're the big three, right? Now, Diddy's the first to fall. I think we see the writing on the wall that next is Jay. I don't know if 50 has done enough for them to come for him for anything. Because so far, nobody has really spoken out on 50 Cent in terms of him exploiting them, right? People who have worked with 50 have actually said really good things for him, but that don't mean that he ain't necessarily done some things for those in power in order for him to get to where he's at. Do y'all understand? So Miss Jaguar Wright was basically saying that 50 Cent is a booty bandit. Y'all remember when Vivica Fox called 50 Cent a booty bandit over that picture he did with Soulja Boy? Matter of fact, I'm gonna bring the picture up. I'm gonna bring it up. If I'm not in the comments right now, y'all, I apologize. I'm gonna get to y'all. I can't see right now because I'm looking things up. But if you're coming in, please hit the like button so people can know I'm on live. This one right here. It was on XXL magazine. I'm about to share this. All right, this one right here. So, so y'all remember, like, it looks bad. Y'all remember this? So, I mean, as you can see, Soulja Boy got no shirt on, his pants halfway pulled down. And then you got 50 Cent with his mask on, his arm over his shoulder. It looks like he's grabbing his belt, he's flexing. Well, basically around this time, him and Vivica got into it. You know, they stay taking shots at each other. Vivica stays speaking up on 50 because regardless of whether or not he does or does not swing that way, you know, for whatever reason, she still has feelings for that man. But she pulled this picture up and called him a booty bandit. And that's no disrespect to the LGBT community. I've said this several times on my channel before. I respect a man that comes out and lives in his truth. And if you like men, you say that you like men and you date men and you're honest with people. Like, I ain't got no problems with you, right? But I mean, this just looks weird. This is like you trying to snatch a young man's booty, you know? Like, I feel like something weird went down during that photo shoot. So now that I've seen this picture, I've heard what Jaguar Wright said. I'm thinking back to what Vivica Fox said, and I'm like, did she know something that we didn't know? Okay. And I'm gonna pull up the interview. Thank you, Skinny Boy. Yeah, he's funny. Like, and here's the thing: I don't care if 50 Cent do like men, as long as he wasn't messing with no little boy. But if 50 likes men, I would not care if he come out tomorrow and say he likes men. I promise you, I wouldn't care. Long as he wasn't doing nothing messed up to people, exploiting people, and using his position to exert power, like making people do stuff with him so that they could get roles and things like that. Now, I'm not with that thing. He needs to be sitting right up in jail. Hey, Political Woodstock. This is my first time seeing you here. Good to see you. Yes, girl. She caught that man a booty bandit. All right, D Mally. Is it your birthday? What you talking about, G-Day? It's your birthday, D Mally? Hey, D Mally. What's up? Good to see y'all here. So, okay. Y'all give me a second. I'm going to pull the interview up that Jaguar Wright did accusing 50 Cent of being, swinging both ways. And then we're going to talk about the relationship that he had with Cuban Link, because that breakup was weird to me. I'm going to pull that up. Okay, here we go. I found this interview on YouTube from Real Life Productions. Y'all know they're based out of Dallas, so I'm so proud of them. And they always bring Jaguar Wright on. They've had Jaguar Wright, they've had G Dill, they've had Orlando Brown. I mean, they bring any and everybody that's going to spill this.
Why did Curtis Jackson lie to everybody? Why doesn't Curtis Jackson tell people that he has a house in Carrollton, and he's had a house in Carrollton for over 7 years?
Now, if you don't know where Carrollton is, that is like a suburb of Dallas, Texas. That's in Dallas County. I had no clue he had a house in Carrollton. Like, he's so low key with it. And Dallas people usually know when celebrities have property. Like, we know Shaq has properties in that area, so we usually know. But yeah, that's super low key of him.
He comes down here, getting a lay of the land, hiring private investigators to follow people around.
Real life. It ain't real life. Real life street stars. Know what time it is.
Oh, hold on real quick, y'all, before we get into the video. Political Woodstock says, I think it's suspect. Oh, it's very suspect. I'll stick to my old lady music. Girl, I be going back and forth between the new and the old. I'm trying not to be one of those people who's like, music back in the day was better so much that I don't keep up with the times. But, sometimes it's hard to, because if you compare the two, you're like, baby, it's not even close. Oh, I'm glad that I was on your recommendations, because for a while, guys, I was thinking I was shadow banned, but somebody told me yesterday I might just be putting too many tags on my videos. So I'm going to try to fix that. Yes, welcome. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Okay, let's get into the video.
Came to Dallas, and then you had really wanted to put on for Dallas artists. So I got to get your take on 50 Cent had reached, and Chris has come.
We're gonna skip that.
Right before me and my son were separated from each other, we went home for a visit, and the fishing hole that we went to, where fish are normally jumping, all of a sudden died. There was nothing out there. You could smell the poison in the water, which of course would irrigation, which of course would bring storms around.
Okay, this part, guys, she's saying that the company, like the record company that 50 Cent has in this area, they're getting paid to dump illegal chemicals on the property, and that it's causing, like when she tries to go fishing out there, it's causing the fish to die.
You know, you gotta like multimillionaires when they start creating tragedies to pretend to be heroes for. Why did Curtis Jackson lie to everybody? Why doesn't Curtis Jackson tell people that he has a house in Carrollton, and he's had a house in Carrollton for over 7 years? That he comes down here, getting a lay of the land, hiring private investigators to follow people around. Why didn't he tell anybody that Millennium Studios, which is now G-Unit Studios, was already there? Why is he pretending like he built it from the ground up? He didn't. He bought it. I know Millennium. I used to go there all the time.
Yeah, it did exist.
Yeah, I know. So why did he lie to everybody?
Guys, that is a very common business practice for somebody to acquire a business that already exists and already had its foundation, and then you just rename it, but you act like you built it from the mud. I told y'all before, that's what happened with several of the strip clubs in Dallas. So you would have strip clubs that had Black management, and when you go in there, most of the girls are Black. But if you actually looked at the paperwork on the clubs, they were owned by white men, right? But you had a lot of these guys who owned these strip clubs who would go around and flex and be like, we started this club. We built it from the ground up. It's Black owned, and they really weren't.
Why did he tell everybody his studio was going to be in Texas? Why did he keep it so quiet? Why did nobody in Shreveport know that he was making such a large acquisition? There would have to be some kind of paperwork there. It's almost as if that sale happened overnight. Not even anyone in the clerk's office knew about it. And I would know. I know the clerk. That's my town.
Yeah, you be in Shreveport.
Those are my people. Yeah. What is it with all of these pretenders? And now they got an even bigger one named Curtis Jackson. They should check the EPA report since he's been there and the toxic waste he's been allowing to be dumped around the property of Millennium Studios for cheap cash. And I'm not saying allegedly, Curtis. I know what you've been doing. You don't get no about what happens to those people in that town, but I do. I love the people in that town.
Let me tell y'all something. Jaguar Wright, the way she be calling 50 Cent by his government name, and she let it be known, like, this is stuff that I know. But you know, on this channel, of course, everything she's saying is alleged because we don't know. I ain't been there. I ain't seen no receipts. This is what she is alleged.
I just wonder how you like that man I sent you. Because he really didn't think you was gonna go for him.
Baby, when she said that, I said, you like the what? He like the what? You sent him who? You sent him you meant one man, right? No, baby. She said man. And it's like you can never tell these days because you look at a man like 50 Cent, you know, he's swole. He has no feminine tendencies. I don't look at him and think anything feminine or flamboyant or anything that would give me the slightest pause. Like he keeps himself up when he goes out, but you don't look at him and be like, oh, he just be in the mirror way too long. Y'all know when you got a man that's in competition with you, you looking good, you looking fly, he look okay, and then he's like, oh baby, you're not gonna step out the house looking better than me, and he go change his outfit. You can't get in the bathroom if y'all share a bathroom because he all the way in the mirror. I'm speaking because I know. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how that go, and you know you be like, dang, is he sweet? Like, do he like men or do he want to be a bad bitch? Like, let me know something.
You, Curtis, you better do right by Shreveport, or I'm gonna let everybody know that Diddy Doo Wop Bop ain't the only taste you got.
So just to switch gears.
Now, when she's saying that
Curtis.
Diddy do wop bop,
I'm sick and tired of him.
now she's saying Diddy do wop bop ain't the only taste you got. I'm not sure if she's trying to say that he's messed with Diddy before, because I remember 50 Cent doing several interviews where he said he don't, Diddy is weird and he don't hang out at his parties, right? We've seen the beef that they've had.
I'd have more respect for him if he came out the closet.
It seems like
Because he's a lot more Bogart than Brooklyn.
it seems like 50 Cent is trying to take down Diddy.
No, he's trying to move Diddy and Jay-Z out the way so he can run it. And the truth is, I ain't mad at him. I just don't trust him. Because the truth is, he would just be another kind of monster in another kind of way. He don't want things to change. He just want to be the one that's running it. See? Easiest thing to do is to take your enemy's feet and hold them to the fire for things you know that they won't admit. Which is why when that C&D came out, he took all of that Diddy shit down. Because of his tape. Say.
So there we go. Jaguar Wright is alleging that there is a freak off tape or some type of freaky tape with 50 Cent on it.
I just wish, listen to me, make you no mistake about it. 50 is pure.
And you know what? That kind of makes sense because if he is accusing Diddy of being, making these tapes, being exploitive, being in the closet, messing with little kids and things like that, Diddy can't come back at him with, well, Ninja, I got a tape on you because, so you got tapes. Oh, you get what I'm trying to say? So it's self-incriminating. So he can't really say anything back.
Hip hop, pure MC. And just like Mike Tyson. Does every time Mike Tyson stuck his makes him any less the killer that he is in the ring? See, and I think that's the problem.
Mike Tyson caught a straight air. So she's also alleging that Mike Tyson is a booty bandit as well. And again, there's nothing about Mike Tyson that gives flamboyant.
People don't understand when it comes to this hypersexuality in hip hop and masculinity. A lot of people don't realize a lot of the archetypes and everything that they built on are built around Roman soldiers, Greek soldiers who used butt breaking as a way to trauma bond with each other so that they would kill for each other on the field. You got to think about it. Real soldiers back in those days, they didn't spend a lot of time around women.
She's not lying. Okay, so for those of y'all who don't know, I majored in poli-science in college and I minored in history. Geography was my third field of study. And then I had to do economics as a fourth field of study. So anything like social studies based, right? I know a lot about. But I had a professor that I took during Greek history, and he was telling us, like, he taught us about how back then a lot of men would take in like a squire, an apprentice that was a boy, and he'd have to come live with him, and that they would engage in homosexual activity. But the weird thing about this professor is that he went to justify it and said that it was not the same thing as pedo activity. Back then times were different, and that was like the cultural norm. They just viewed things differently back then. But yes, it was very common for men in Greece to mess with little boys. It is very common for soldiers to have those type of relationships with each other on the battlefield, because for the most part, the Greeks were always conquering and always at war. So yes, the men did spend a lot of the time away from women. So you either have a situation where where it's like they're either going into cities and raping the women that they in the cities that they've conquered. But in the meantime, in between time, a lot of them were busting each other down. So she's not lying about that. So when you think about stuff like, I've always said football is kind of like, if you think about a lot of these sports teams and a lot of these football players, like a lot of them do stuff with each other because you got to think about it. A lot of them don't have that much time for girls because they're always at practice. And then you're in the locker room watching other men get naked. And then on top of that, a lot of men already are, especially when you're young, you have a lot of testosterone. So you're already driven, they're already thinking about smegs more than like the average person would be thinking about it, more than like an older man would be thinking about it a lot of the times. So you put them in an environment where they're doing all this male bonding, they're only around men. Things like this are bound to happen. And yes, you do have some men who are going to be like, okay, well, that's just not how I get down, and they're going to stand on business, but many are going to fold. And I think about this like when I used to work in the mental health facility for kids in San Marcos, Texas, and on the all boys unit where they didn't allow girls on the unit, like at least 70% of the boys were doing homosexual activity with each other. Yes. Teenage boys, yes. We'd always have to write like incident reports for catching them doing stuff together.
Women were something that happened or something that you did to have babies with. Most of your time was spent with the men in the field. Y'all saw the movie. Did anybody see Brokeback Mountain? You want to know what was the saddest thing? Being on tour buses and watching go broke back right before your very eye.
We went on to talk about how, like, if you watch the full interview, she goes on to talk about how these men would sit up and they'd all be in a group watching Corn together. And of course, like, after a while, that desensitizes you because you're used to watching another man and looking at, his private parts and him doing something to another woman. And honestly and truly, I was listening to Tony Gaskins a couple months ago, and he said this, that men that watch Corn on a regular basis, like if you watching that and you steady watching that, like you're more likely to swing that way. So even I've heard another man say this, especially when y'all do it all in a group. Y'all remember when Pimp C and Bun B were sitting together, and he was like, me and Bun B, we get money together, but we are real men. We real family men. We ain't never sat up in no room together running choo-choo trains on women. And I ain't never been in the same room as another dude doing something to another woman. That's not right, But a lot of these men you'll be surprised, a lot of men will be in the same room as their homeboy, and they both getting it in with another chick, and they don't think there's something wrong with that, right? That you are in the same room with your naked homeboy and he's engaging in an activity with a woman, And of course, the women, like, why? But that's just how that goes. It's about power and domination at some point. I have never and will never go down that road. I think so too. I think a lot of the times, like she was saying, it's about buck breaking. Like, I think a lot of the times the men like dominating the other men, and then you have men who like being submissive. Like, you like men who like getting on their knees. There are certain men who, like, if you talk to there are certain men in our community who only like to get done by white men, right? And this is not because, like, again, my audience is for everybody. So this is not an anti-white channel. All races are welcome. Y'all know what I say. Like, don't judge people based on skin color. Like, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. People based on shared values. But there is this element within that community of, Black men who like to get done up by Caucasian men, because they like being submissive in that submissive position and feeling like these men are dominating them. So yes, that definitely is an element. Um, okay, give me 1 second. So let me pull up the information on Ashton Kutcher. Now, this really hurt my heart, to be honest, because um I love Ashton Kutcher. He is like, that was like one of my crushes when I was a kid. If y'all don't know Ashton Kutcher, he acted on that 70s show. He's married to Mila Kunis now. But he acted on that 70s show, and he acted in what was that? The Guardian. He's done so many movies, and he's always had this like cute kind of boyish quality about him. At one point he was with Demi Moore. So that hurt my heart to hear these things about Ashton Kutcher, because not only does Jaguar Wright accuse him of being at Diddy's freak-offs, but she also says that the reason why he got with Demi Lovato was so that he could mess with her young girls. So she accuses him of that. Let me pull up the pictures of Ashton Kutcher. For those of y'all who don't know who that is, I'm going to pull up pictures of him like young. So you'll see he did Punk'd. So he always was kind of like the funny, handsome guy, One second. Yes, thank you. Y'all hit the like button. Okay, 1 second. If y'all hear some noise, I apologize. Y'all know I stay on a busy street, and I did not close my windows. Let me tell my Tatiana. Okay, so here are some pictures of him when he was young, and he was handsome. Y'all, hold on. Let me make myself small. Can you please close that window? Thank you. Yes, y'all. So he used to be really handsome. He still looks nice. Okay, but this, y'all, when I tell y'all I love this boy, just no. Shut the window. No. Raise that back up and shut the window. Thank you. Okay, but now he's with Mila Kunis, so I'm trying to find the interview right now. Give me a moment. Mm-mm. Looks like I'm gonna have to try to give me a second, guys, while I go to this interview. Which one was it? I believe it was this one. Okay. Let me pause. Let me find the timestamps. Dang, they did not timestamp this interview. Okay, I know who got the info. Okay, here we go. So I'm on Tisa Tell's channel. I'm not going to share the whole thing, but if you don't follow Tisa, make sure that y'all follow her because she is the hardest working woman on YouTube and she be coming with all the tea. Let me make sure I'm sharing this with y'all. I'm going to skip through some of this.
Evaluate the present, right? Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis wrote a secret. Now, mind you, Ashton Kutcher was at one time on a board for sex trafficking. He testified in front of Congress. He did all the stuff. A lot of people thought he was down for the cause. But after they wrote this secret letter to the judge that got publicized, he was asked to step down from the National Board for Prevention of Sex Trafficking. And people even tried to say that he was the ops. And the reason he was even on that board is because maybe he was monitoring where the source came from.
Okay, so if y'all don't remember, Danny Masterson, who worked on that 70s show with Ashton Kutcher and Mila, y'all remember the dude who had like the short blonde hair? He was kind of like the bad boy of the group. Well, he is in jail right now for SA. And y'all remember Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher secretly like wrote a letter speaking out on his behalf. It got leaked and then they got blasted and they came out and kind of like did an apology. Well, basically, he was on this board for preventing sex trafficking. And that's what she's trying to say. Like a lot of people are saying he wanted to be on that board so that he could monitor information coming in and out, know what was on whose radar. Like he was basically a plant.
They said he was a double agent.
This is all alleged.
And their behavior and what they wrote in that letter was so groundbreaking, so shocking, so disgusting. The sex trafficking board said, you gotta step down. Now, what did they write in that letter? They begged the judge to let their friend, a serial rapist, go free because they know his heart and they've seen him on set. And they know that they've never seen him do anything like that on set. They said a bunch of stuff, basically begging the judge to let him go or put him on probation. Now, mind you, they wrote this after all the evidence was submitted and after the jury convicted Danny Masterman of being a serial rapist. After he was convicted and they saw the evidence and everybody was just like, yeah, Ninja, you did it, right? They wrote a letter to the judge begging him to basically not give him a sentence, let him go on probation, basically get the Diddy special where he's on house arrest and whatnot. The letter was so egregious from someone that's supposed to be an advocate for SA victims, advocate of great victims, advocate of sex trafficking, that it was actually leaked to the public. And Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher then gave that lame apology when they were sitting there looking like in dirty t-shirts against what looked like a barn in their like $80 million house, trying to look all poor and normal. Talking about, we believe victims and blah, 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 blah. They were basically caught defending their literal serial rapist friend and trying to get him freed without having a heavy sentence, okay? So that's what's going on. He got kicked off of the national board for sex trafficking. A lot of people said he was on that board because he was just the ops trying to see what was going on inside. But that's a story for a different day. Danny Masterman, as you know, was...
And I have so much I could talk about on the topic of sex trafficking. In Dallas today, one of those Korean-owned foot massage parlors got raided today. And y'all know what goes on there. Like we all, like, here's the thing, we all, well, I don't want to say we all know. I'm gonna say this: if you know, you know, and then the police know because they go to those places. Not all, but quite a few frequent, and they couldn't operate at the magnitude that they operate without city officials knowing. At least the ones that matter. Powerful men in Dallas go there. They're like their only clientele. But these are places for smegma trafficking. Like, it's really big, guys. It's a really huge industry, and it wouldn't be able to exist if it wasn't permitted. That's all I'm gonna say. So I'm pretty sure there are more than one plant. Like, I'm pretty sure Ashton Kutcher is not the only plant that works in that industry.
Represented by Sean Hawley. Diddy, as you know, was represented by Sean Hawley. Diddy has a new round of lawyers that Mark Agnifila, mark my words, you will, and y'all can put me on, you will not see him at the trial with Diddy. He has been let go, but when you get into high profile cases, you don't just fire, you're fired. You don't announce that for the world to know that you fired your lawyer. You have to be very strategic because firing someone could make you look more guilty. It could mess up the lawyer's reputation. But trust and believe, Mark Agnifilo has been phased out. He has 3 new lawyers on the case. Their signatures are all over the filings. Mark Agnifilo, the most he can hope to do is still be a consult to see what's going on in the Southern District of New York. But since he did not see Diddy's arrest,
Let me skip some of this, Sean.
To trick a 13-year-old Mila into kissing them, and they joked about the way she thought it was going to be a peck on the lips, and they would hard. He was at all the parties, and he bragged about it. So, fortunately for Ashton Kutcher, the feds don't care nothing about that. Let's get into this article. Then we'll move to Cat Williams. Then we will move to Little Rod, who is saying, "Baby, I ain't scared," and I'll name the names. If you guys don't know, I also did a great interview with Little Rod. Go ahead and check that out. Okay. Ashton Kutcher is terrified Diddy could make up false allegations about his celebrity friends to clear his name in a smegma trafficking trial. Okay? Yeah, we'll see. Ashton regrets his friendship with Sean Diddy Combs. Did they leak this? You regret?
Because my whole thing is, if you notice you weren't there at those parties, why would you even think that somebody would bring you in the mix when there were so many other people that were there that you could just snitch on? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is your first thought, oh, he's going to create a story about me, when it's like, well, if you weren't there, there are other people that have bigger celebrity than you that were there. Like, don't you think he would tell on those people before you? So, okay.
Your friendship?
Hey, Binky, good to see you, girl. Yes, happy Friday, y'all. The work week is over for most of us.
They rolled hard. He was at all the parties, and he bragged about it. Let's not forget, Ashton Kutcher was literally dating Mila Kunis when she was really, really young. Let's not forget, she gave a different age on that 70s show, and him and Danny Masterman used to have bets as who was going to be the first person to trick a 13-year-old Mila into kissing them. And they joked about the way she thought it was going to be a peck on the lips, and they would tongue her down, and they would laugh about it, and they had a bet going to see who was going to bag her first. Clearly, Ashton Kutcher did.
I did not know that. I did not know that she was that young when she was on that 70s show. And they were grown men. And first of all, they're gross, they're nasty, right? But who casted her? And why did they cast her? You know, like, I'm sorry, guys, my battery's going out. Give me 1 second. Okay, perfect. Yeah, who casted her? And why did they cast her? That's what I want to know. So that makes me feel like she had to do some questionable things to get on. And if you know this 13-year-old girl is going to be playing the love interest of Ashton Kutcher, why would you cast her and put her in a situation where she would be doing those kind of scenes, kissing? Y'all know Jackie and what was his name on there? Kelso, I think that was his name. Y'all know they had a lot of intimate moments on screen. Wow, I agree with the host. Yeah, like, that was just crazy to me. And I did not know that. I think most of us, when we were watching that 70s show, we did not have a clue that Mila Kunis was that young. And she did, like, for a long time, she was that girl. Like, they would cast her in all the rock videos and things like that. She's a very pretty girl. So this is just disheartening to hear.
Anyway, he regrets his friendship with Sean Diddy Combs and fears the disgraced music mogul would willingly lie to authorities about his famous friends if it meant he could clear his own name. See, that's the thing, Ashton. If he does get a plea deal before that, that's the thing, Ashton. The feds are 100% going to investigate. Is that all you're saying? It's going to be lies? Ashton has been close friends with Diddy for nearly 2 decades, with the duo speaking highly of each other over the years and the actor even attending many of his famous parties. However, in light of Diddy's arrest, insiders are claiming Ashton is terrified that the rap star could say anything, do anything, or turn on anyone to get out of jail. Ashton absolutely regrets his friendship with Diddy, considering what has happened. He feels lied to, betrayed, taken for granted, and manipulated. Now, pause, just to give you guys a little more color on why Ashton is so cool with Danny Masterman, besides them being once co-workers. And Diddy, Ashton Kutcher was supposed to go on a date. I think it was a first date or a blind date with a young woman. That young woman, shortly after the date, was found murked in a pool.
I remember this.
On her floor in her apartment.
I remember this case that Ashton Kutcher was tied to.
Interesting thing, the police did some investigation, and what they found was Ashton was supposed to be the last person to talk to her or see her. See, Ashton showed up on his date. This is what he told the police. He showed up on his date. He felt something was wrong. He walked to the window and peered in. He saw this woman laying there, clearly deceased, in a pool of her own whatever. There was something about that when he looked in the window, he saw that she was clearly deceased. He panicked. He didn't know what to do. He tried to open the door. That's how his fingerprints got on the door. He panicked and he didn't know what to do. So he called Danny Masterman and he said, yo, I am looking at a deceased woman right now. And it's crazy because this was our first date and we're supposed to, or maybe it's the second date. It was early in the dating thing. We're supposed to go.
I remember this. And then they were saying that Danny Masterson helped him cover it up. And then her friend came out. I want to say that was like maybe 1 or 2 years ago, trying to bring the case back up. But I can't even remember. I can't believe I forgot that. Yes, Ashton been kind of in some messy situations that are questionable.
Go out. She didn't answer the door. My fingerprints are there. I look through the window and I see her and I think she's murked. Danny, what should I do? And Danny Masterman told him to leave the scene and not report anything to the police. So Ashton, on Danny Masterman's part, the convicted rapist, left the scene, didn't report it to the police, and waited for the police to come knocking at his door. And when the police said, yo, we traced cell phone records and all this other stuff, and you were the last person to talk to her or text her. We also have your prints at the scene. What's going on? He then told the story about.
If it's me and I know I didn't do anything, I'm calling the police because, like, logically, I'm gonna call the police because, like, I know y'all are gonna take prints at the scene and all that. I need you to know the reason why I showed up was take this girl on a date. Now I done found the girl. Like, I ain't do nothing to her. I don't have any blood on me right now. I showed up clean cut for this day. I'm waiting outside. I'm not walking all up. Baby, no, hold on now. I ain't do it. And I know he's a celebrity. And of course, you know, celebrities, they want to try to keep their image clean. I'm not going anywhere. I need to be able to explain myself because it's going to look more suspicious once you take these prints and
about how he just looked he tried to come in and then she didn't answer. He looked through the window. He was so shocked and scared. He didn't know what to do. And he just called his friend. His friend told him just to leave. So he left and here he is. Because don't forget, in America, you are under no obligation unless you have a special relationship with someone to lend assistance. You can watch someone be brutally raped and as long as you had nothing to do with it, It's not illegal. Okay. It's one of our weird things in our jurisprudence. It's not illegal. So Ashton and himself did that. And Danny Masterman did him a solid and got him out of that mess and helped guide him. Ashton has used his Justin Timberlake privilege for so long. Ashton, if you read the blogs, which may or may not be true, I don't know, you go Google Ashton Kutcher and go over to Crazy Days and Nights and see and do what it do. Ashton is into some very dark stuff. And behind his golly shucks, I'm the boy next door that never grew up he is into some incredibly crazy, weird, and incredibly dark stuff. So what do we have? We have Ashton now worried that Diddy is going to tell lies on him. Okay, let's get some more into this. The source continued. He feels the same way about Danny Masterman. This is a man he wrote a letter after he was convicted before sentencing, begging the judge to give him another chance, begging the judge to help him. He feels the same way about Danny Masterman. He now trusts no one except for his wife, Mila. He's going to keep his circle to his family. So you were friends with the rap Jeffrey Epstein, best friends, and you were also super, super cool with Danny Masterman, a Hollywood Zodiac killer, the Hollywood rapist. But now you've learned your lesson and you're going to keep your circle tight. Okay. They said back in October, Ashton and Kunis came under fire for sharing letters of support for their former That 70s Show Masterman, in which they pleaded for the judge to show leniency to the actor before he was sentenced for 30 years. With the backlash, he stepped down as chair of his anti-child blank abuse organization. This is a man that was supposed to be an advocate.
Because it's just repetitive.
They wouldn't have any memory of it, due to the baby oil thing and how they said Channing Tatum. I don't know, whatever his name is. Zoe Kravitz is his man. In the whole don't blink twice. So again, just to give you guys a little color.
Hold on, baby. Again, she done added
Diddy's
Channing Tatum in the mix. Not Channing Tatum. I got to run that back.
A 9-year-old. He also made another minor who I believe said that whole thing was nothing but a grooming exercise. Something people say, but now you've learned your lesson and you're going to keep your circle tight. Okay. They said back in October, Ashton and Kunis came under fire for sharing letters of support for their former That 70s Show Masterman, in which they pleaded for the judge to show leniency to the actor before he was sentenced for 30 years. With the backlash, he stepped down as chair of his anti-child blank abuse organization. This is a man that was supposed to be an advocate. Again, some people said that whole thing was nothing but a grooming exercise. Something people say that whole thing was nothing but a grooming exercise. And that's why Ashton was even on that chair thing, because he was just going straight to the source. Okay. Again, Diddy, if you guys don't know, attorney Tony Busby says he has definitive proof that Diddy was basically running a child audition blank ring where he made a 9-year-old perform. He essayed a 9-year-old. He also made another minor who I believe was somewhere between 9 and 14 years old, perform sloppy toppy for a job. He also gripped.
That's why, y'all, I don't, a lot of people, I have a child who is, she has a lot of personality, and I've had several people tell me like, oh, and she's very pretty. And I've had a lot of people say, you need to put her in acting. You need to take her to some auditions, but I won't, because she's a child. And I always see like these ads, have your child audition for Disney. But I am so scared something is going to happen to her. And then a lot of times they'll try to ask you to like, leave the room so that the child can, perform whatever they need to perform for the directors or the modeling agency. And it's like, baby, I'm not going. So I'm sure a lot of that goes down.
Raped many minors. They wouldn't have any memory of it, due to the baby oil thing and how they said Channing Tatum. Tatum Channing, I don't know, whatever his name is. Zoe Kravitz is his man. In the whole don't blink twice. So again, just to give you guys a little color. Again, Diddy's people are going down. And the fact that somebody that was Diddy's best friend for all that time, the most you can say is, I'm afraid you're going to lie about me. You better be more than afraid, baby. Birds of a feather. What did Kendrick say? Those predators move
Come on
flocks,
now.
right? Having weathered the masculine backlash, the actor is now preparing for the possibility of being dragged into the investigation with Combs. The possibility, baby, you are going to be in that federal indictment some way, somewhere. That's what
I'm gonna stop it there, guys. But I mean, yeah, I agree. It is a RICO charge. This is a charge based on conspiracy, and I think there are going to be a lot of people that are dragged into it. I didn't know that Diddy and Ashton Kutcher were that tight. But if he was involved in that, then I think that he should go to jail too. And I hate that we see a lot of these people that we grew up on and that we like that were into this dark stuff, but they all need to go to jail. Especially, it's not even the engaging in activities with other consenting, if they were consenting adults. It's the things that went on with these children, right? Now, I wonder if a lot of these people are going to try to use the argument that, hey, we went to these parties, we were given this oil or these drinks, or whenever we would be at these child auditions, Diddy would have me take a drink, I would black out and I didn't know what I was doing. And honestly and truly, guys, that's not a bad defense. Like, if they go in and they find that he was putting Tootsie, if y'all don't know what Tootsie is, it's like a mix of cocaine, ecstasy, and ketamine. So it's like a cocktail, right? You can get it here like easily in Colombia, right? If they find out that people were ingesting this stuff into their system before they committed these acts and that Diddy was the orchestrator of it, I mean, a lot of the time, guys, if you're that messed up and somebody does something, like Jaguar Wright was talking about this, how she was like, I keep getting asked about this person and whether or not he did anything to a child. And she was like, and I don't even respond because I like the person, but I also know that they did, in fact, sleep with the child. But she was saying that they drugged the man, they got him so messed up, and then they sent a 16-year-old girl into him, and they would send this same 16-year-old girl at everybody while they were mentally impaired. And the 16-year-old girl was like, fine. And again, this is not me blaming the girl, like, because she was absolutely being trafficked, but they would use this same girl to get a tape on somebody, right? So I wonder how many people are going to try to say, hey, I was under the influence at the time that the events took place, and I was under the influence against my will, or I was given some type of substance and I didn't know until later on that I was given this substance as a way to get out of the situation. And I mean, honestly, that would be their best defense, right? But if it's not true, though, I hope they don't get away with it. Like, if they would have done that anyway, even if they weren't under the influence, they need to be in jail. Dan Snyder from Nickelodeon was a damn pedo. So I agree with you. Yeah. And he needs to be in jail too. But I think he's gotten away for now. I don't think that situation is over. You know what I'm saying? I think that's going to come up again for sure. Especially with all of this stuff coming to the light. The industry is over, guys. I mean, I'm not saying that acting in movies and things like that is over. I think the way that it's done is going to have to change. But overall, the entity that is Hollywood is over. But people ultimately have to be smart about their kids. Don't be so desperate for fame and money that you're willing to sacrifice your kids so that you can steal their money. Because that's what a lot of these parents do. They use these kids as cash cows and steal and live off of their money. So, like, you got to protect your kids at all costs. And if your kid is talented, they'll be a talented adult. They can make decisions for themselves. And that's honestly the best time for them to go into TV. But anyways, guys, I've ran over. So it's been really good, guys. I hope that y'all have a good weekend. Thank you for everybody that showed up. Thank you for everybody who hit the like button. And if you didn't, go ahead and hit it now. Thank you for everybody that subscribed. I will see y'all again on Monday at 12:05 for the lunch hour. Lunch hour crew going up. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers. So yeah, I thank y'all for all the love and support and just showing up to listen to little old me. I will see y'all on Monday. Have a great weekend. Goodbye.